Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Did you miss me? I am back in the saddle after a vacation. I think it was a 6-day vacation. Went to France, by the way. Went to Gay Paris. And boy, do I have some stories to tell. That's coming up in the second hour, along with more Machiavellian, MD-directed medical mediocrity, nonsensical research, especially in the second hour today, concerning what the knuckleheads are thinking about Alzheimer's disease, and I am choosing my words correctly. Colorblind art critics who don't know that they're colorblind are going to give lousy critiques all of the time. This is what happens with conventional medicine. They've got it wrong a priori from the beginning. They have blinders that they're not even aware of. And because of their incompetence, because of their lack of introspection, because of their lack of authentic ownership of their therapeutics, because of their lack of objectivity, and because they are little more than shills for the pharmaceutical industry that don't even know they're shills for the pharmaceutical industry, because their heads are so far up their rear ends they can't even see the light of day, we suffer and die. We suffer and die. Leading cause of death, 780,000 people a year killed by MDs. Leading cause of bankruptcy, MD-directed treatments. You know the drill. These knuckleheads, the amount of incompetence in the profession and lack of objective oversight and direct dogmatic adherence to an old-fashioned, outdated methodology is awe-inspiring. The amount of hubris present in conventional medicine is awe-inspiring and should bring every single one of you to your knees. Well, guess what? That's already happened. Because you're on your knees with arthritis, you're on your knees with vertigo, you're on your knees with a chronic health condition that gets worse and worse and worse as you get older and older and older, and you think it's the norm because it happens to everybody. The only reason it happens to everybody is because everybody goes to the MD for chronic treatment, when the only time to see the MD, their wheelhouse is 100% inside of the domain of surgery when it's necessary, trauma care, and a handful of infectious diseases. For goodness sake, you wouldn't bring your computer to the automobile mechanic to have it fixed, right? Why would you bring your body to an MD when you're suffering with a chronic health condition? Because you don't know there's a different way. You don't know any better. You don't even know how to pronounce naturopathic, let alone know what it is. And that's why this radio show exists, ladies and gentlemen. We are on a mission. Make no bones about it. This is a mission. This is a mission. I don't care how you slice it, up, down, inside out, or sideways. This is a mission. What's the mission? To bring people back into the state of health that's their God-given, built-in, God-given right. Health is your only true wealth, and health is your birthright. But your MD is incapable, because of their training, to help you recover your health. They can't do it. MDs, bless their hearts, don't practice health care. They practice disease control, disease management. And that's what you get when you go to an MD. Disease management, disease management, disease management, death. How's about that for a trifecta? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. That's why this radio show exists. We're on a campaign to change the way that medicine is practiced in the United States by teaching people how to become so healthy that they can safely and effectively stop taking their prescription medication, recover their health, fire their medical doctor, keep the medical doctor in the wings for those rare cases of trauma when you need the bone set and a cast put on, and you need the cut stitched up, and you need the bullet removed, heaven forbid. That's their domain. That's what they're good for. So we're going to teach you how to get yourself so healthy you can fire your medical doctor, keep him in the wings, reduce your comprehensive health insurance to catastrophic health insurance, become your own doctor, because healing is easy. We're under two myths in this country, and we've been under two myths for 100 years. Myth number one, the MD is the undisputed king of the medical hill. Everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack. It's nonsense. The only people selling snake oil in this country have MD after their name. And number two, healing is some complicated, sophisticated thing that can only happen in high-tech, multi-million-dollar medical hospitals. It's nonsense. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. Your medical doctor, your MD, is incapable of helping your body heal itself. They do not know how to do it. They're not trained in it. They're incapable of it. And their heads are so far up their rear ends, they don't even know they suck at it. The fool that knows he is a fool is that much wiser, but the fool that thinks he is wise is a fool indeed. We're on a mission to change it up. We're going to change it inside out. We're going to change it all the way around. And how are we going to do it? We're going to generate a grassroots coalition of the informed. We're not going to fight Big Pharma. We're not going to do more research. We're not going to do more clinical trials. We're going to bring our science-based, clinically verified therapeutics to the people. We're just going to throw it to the people like crumbs to the pigeons. And the wise ones are going to flock to us. And how are we going to do this? We're going to do this with a grassroots coalition of the informed built through the agency of a networked business. A networked business. We're changing the paradigm here on two fronts. We're changing the health paradigm and we're changing the wealth paradigm. Because we have also been culturally conditioned by 100 years, more than that, quite frankly, of the big bankster industry in the world telling us that, oh, you have to trade your time for money and that you're only worth $1.65 an hour. You have to save up your entire life, give money every month to your pension so that the corporate gangsters can raid your pension fund when you're 65 and leave you screwed, glued, and tattooed. You good with that? You okay with the glass ceiling? You okay with shrinking your dreams to fit your budget? You okay with that? Well, then you should dial this radio station off right now. Don't listen anymore because we're going to tell you how to grow your budget to fit your dreams and then make your dreams bigger. Because we have a way to help you into financial freedom. And then you're probably thinking to yourself, financial freedom? Whoa, what's this? What's this? A financial freedom? I can't handle that, Dr. Glidden. That must be some pyramid scheme. Well, see how you think? Oh, financial freedom? I can't handle that. Just the thought of financial freedom makes me all squirrely inside. Well, if it makes you squirrely inside to think about having 3 houses, if it makes you squirrely inside to think about having a garage filled with your favorite cars, if it makes you squirrely inside to have over $1 million of gold in your savings account, then you should turn this radio station off right now because it ain't for you. We're only interested in people who want to think outside of the box and who want to dream big. Now look, you don't have to dream big. You can dream small if you want. I mean, it's a free country. It is a free country. You can do whatever you want. My point is, we're breaking paradigms. We're busting down doors left, right, center, inside and outside, all around. That's what we do. Now, if you're up for that game, however big you want to make it, then we're good to go here. We are good to go. And in order to show you what I'm talking about so that you don't think, oh, they're just another one of these people blowing smoke about how it's easy to make pie in the sky overnight money, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a business technique, a business model that's proven. Over $200 multi-million inside of the Longevity Company have already proven that it can work, and they're not highly educated people. They're bricklayers and automobile mechanics and plumbers, electricians. We have a couple of educated people. Most aren't. One of the most successful women in the Longevity Corporation grew up in a tin shack in Tennessee with a dirt floor. And now she's a multi-million-dollar earner. If she could do it, you think you can do it? Well, Dr. Glidden, I can't be doing that. Oh, no, heaven forbid I can't do that. Also, Dr. Hufflepuff says, no, I can't do that. No, you must work for $1.65 an hour, and you must be happy with that. Oh, my goodness, and just eat McDonald's. For goodness sake, Just drink water. That's all you need to do. Put a little sugar in that water, and you're going to be good. And, save your pennies, save your pennies, save your pennies, and do lottery tickets. That's what Huff and Puff says. Oh, by the way, take this antibiotic. I know you don't need it, but it's preventive. This is what we've gotten used to, ladies and gentlemen. You crawl on your knees into the bank, hoping that they're going to lend you money at 68% interest. You crawl on your knees to the credit card companies to beg them to give you credit at 18%. You got to be kidding me. For goodness sake, when's it going to end? It's going to end right here and right now today. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, click on the longevity button, and join the cause. Join Team Glidden. That's my team. That's my longevity team. My longevity team. We're breaking records, ladies and gentlemen. We're creating sales. We're bringing people into the fold. We're creating health. We're helping people to recover their health in record time and record numbers. Why? Because it works. Plain and simple. This is easy, squeezy, lemon peasy. Oh, I got that backwards. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? That's what it is. Easier than falling off of a potato truck. Is it an overnight sensation? No, it's work. That's why it's called network marketing. You want to do the work, then you can get the wealth. You want to do the work, you can get your health. Requires work. And coming up after this hard break, we're going to have one of the best people, in my opinion, in longevity, tell us how you can do it, how you can make it work, how you can make the network work. Going to be talking to Mike Randolph after the break, the Vice President of Leadership Development in Longevity. Going to tell you the power of no. How about that? The power of no. Bet you didn't see that coming. Ladies and gentlemen, health and wealth are available to you now. How much do you want it? Can you smell it? Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Can you see it? If the answer is yes, go to fireyourmdnow.com and join the cause. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is the luckiest day of your life. You've tuned in to Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden back in the saddle again after a vacation over in Gay Paris. Talking to you today live. It's already July. My, oh my, how did that happen? July 2nd, 2013. Proud to introduce to you once again one of my favorite guests, Mr. Mike Randolph, the Vice President of Leadership Development at Longevity. Welcome aboard, Mr. Randolph. How are you doing?
Doc, I got to tell you, I am on fire right now after listening to your show opening. I'm sitting there making notes and doing all kinds of crazy things. I had to climb down off my desk, get back in my chair so I could get on the phone. We missed you, man. I got to tell you, but you did cause some challenges here in New England. I don't know if our listeners know that you originally grew up in this general neck of the woods. Maybe they can't tell from your Nantucket accent, but anyway, I wasn't sure everything you had going on last week. I knew you were on an exotic trip, but I didn't really know what you were up to. And I drove by this vigil in the middle of Boston last week, and there's this giant crowd of women. They were all carrying candles, and it looked like every single one of them was crying, and I wanted to know what the heck was going on. So I stopped and talked to some folks, and they said they were mourning the loss of the most eligible bachelor, not only in New England, but across this great nation and around the world. And I'm just going to say congratulations. We're going to talk today about the power of no, but last week you started to realize the power of yes. And,
yes, I did. Well, I appreciate that, Mike. That's very, very kind of you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I finally did it. I finally took the plunge, got engaged last week to the love of my life. Love you, honey. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. And, you know, Dr. Glidden, I stepped it up a notch. I proposed on the Eiffel Tower, and thank God she said yes. So life is good, brother. We're moving along forward here at a rapid rate now, because look, I got to tell you something. There's something built into life, There's a dichotomy in life. There's night and day, winter and spring, left and right, up and down, positive and negative, north and south, winter and summer. I could go on and on. Life is a duality. We live in a world, a universe, a dual universe, duality. And the whole male-female thing, or I don't even care if it's male-male, female-female, the relationship thing is important. And once you have a relationship dialed in, anything's possible. And I got to tell you something right now, man. Anything is possible with Dr. Glidden. I am so looking forward to the future. Man, I'm going to be wearing sunglasses even in the middle of the night. My future is so bright, knock on wood. Thanks so much for the positive strokes, buddy.
Oh, hey, no problem, no problem. I wanted to give you one of my favorite quotes today. We're gonna shift over to no. You mentioned that right before the break. I think that corporate America has lied to us for so long. Our medical industry has lied to us for so long. The pharmaceutical industry have lied to us for so long, and our politicians have lied to us for so long. That we're brainwashed to thinking that to move ahead or to do well, we always have to say yes, 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 yes. And I respectfully submit, and I'm gonna give you one of my favorite quotes, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit about the irony of it. But this gentleman is definitely a super magnate of business, accomplished things that literally have changed the world, I think, for the positive. And this quote is about focus, and it goes like this. People think focus means saying yes to the thing that you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that are there. You have to pick carefully. I'm actually as proud of the things we haven't done as the things we have done. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. And when you think about the wisdom of that statement, you realize that to stay focused, to stay on track, you have to learn to say no to a lot of things. I know that you and Dr. Wallach are trying to teach people to say no when the medical practitioners are lunging at them with a scalpel or lunging at them with a new experimental pharmaceutical drug, which actually leads me to the irony of this statement. That quote is from 1997, made by one of my heroes in business, a gentleman named Steve Jobs.
Wow.
For those of you that remember, Steve Jobs was the one who took Apple Computer from a garage experiment to the powerhouse that it is today. But I respectfully submit, if he had learned to say no to his medical advisors, he might still be with us today.
Absolutely correct. You hit the nail right on the head, buddy. Stick around, folks. More to come. It's an outdated old saw, ladies and gentlemen, but it's absolutely applicable. Are you sick and tired or feeling sick and tired? Are you? Well, you've tuned into exactly the right place. Are you tired of having your bank account be subterranean? Are you tired of getting on your knees to the credit card companies and to the banksters? Well, if you are, you've come to exactly the right place, because we have science-based, clinically verified methods of health recovery, and we have tried and true, really smart and progressive business model, singular, in order to help you increase your wealth. And that's what we're talking about in the first hour today. If the callers from all over the world, you're going to have to stick with me until the second hour today, because that's when we're going to be taking your calls in the second hour today, July 2nd, 2013. Talking to Mike Randolph, Vice President of Leadership Development at Longevity. So I couldn't agree more, Mike. That's kind of sent chills up my spine thinking about Steve Jobs saying, well, you have to say no to this and you have to say no to that, and you have to stay focused, man. You have to keep your eyes on the prize. You have to keep tuned in with laser intention on what it is that you want to accomplish. And again, I think one of the greatest ironies here, you know, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm 4 years new to network marketing. Mike Randolph and his cohorts, his chums, his colleagues, his buddies, they've been doing it for decades. I've been doing it for 4 years, and I'm here to testify. I'm telling you, folks, this is not rocket science. This is not overnight, dream money. Let's have pipe dream money, and tomorrow we're all going to have $5,000 paychecks. It's not going to be like that. But what it is a very unique business model, which is easy to do. And if you just churn it out for a couple of hours every day, just take the simple steps, a couple of hours every day, you cannot fail. And your income will grow exponentially. Wouldn't it be great to be like J.K. Rowling, who, wrote the Harry Potter books? I mean, did she write a book 10 million times? No, she wrote one book. And 10 million people bought it. And then she wrote another book, and 10 million people bought that. And every time somebody buys the book, even now, she gets paid. Wouldn't that be great to have a business like that? Well, you can. As Youngevity, as a network marketing person, that's what we give you. That's what we afford you. A business opportunity with built-in residual income, by the way, which is willable. You can will it to your kids, so after you die, they keep getting checks every month. How about that? That beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, don't you think? We have been so brainwashed by conventional culture to think that we have to trade time for money and that, we have limited incomes. We've all bought it hook, line, and sinker, and it's crushing us. We're being crushed by the weight of all of this nonsense, and here there is another way. It's right in front of you. Sign up, folks. Go to Fire Your MD now. Oh, I said it out loud, right? Ooh, I said the sign-up word. Ooh. That's right, I did. I'm going to say it 1,000,000 times. Sign up. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the Youngevity button, join Team Glidden, and let us show you the light of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition and financial perfection. How about that? I like that, financial perfection. So what's new in the world of Youngevity, Mike? What did I miss while I've been away?
Well, Doc, our system is so simple, and it works so well. I would love to tell you missed a lot, but you didn't miss a lot because we didn't make any changes while you were gone. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We didn't do anything other than repeat those things that work. And, you talk about our system, you talk about the power of non-conventional thinking, and I think that's what I really like to focus on when we talk about the power of no. Einstein said it. I've heard this quote so many times over the last few weeks. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I also think the converse is true. Another definition of insanity is doing things constantly different and expecting the same results. If you come to Youngevity and you want to reinvent the wheel, if you come to Youngevity and you want to be the brightest bulb in the box, if you come to Youngevity and you want to apply all your smarts, then you're not going to do real well because we have a proven system. It is in place. It's just like plugging into an assembly line. Henry Ford changed the world when he invented the assembly line method of automobile manufacturing, that his system was no longer dependent upon any one person knowing everything. It was dependent upon a whole bunch of people knowing their little piece. And if a person called in sick, the line didn't come to a screeching halt. Somebody else that knew that same little piece just got plugged in. The Youngevity system works very much the same way, except you get to receive the benefit of your own personal business-building assembly line. You just need to come in and follow the system, and it really works like A, B, C, D, E, and then repeat, A, B, C, D, E. Corporate America has taught us that success is complicated. Corporate America has taught us that success is only for those that have followed Corporate America rules. I'm here to tell you success is for those that learn to say no. Say no to conventional thinking, say no to doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. If you're not getting where you want to go by punching a clock every day, it's time to say no. If you're not getting the health you want by doing the same thing that everyone else is doing, plugging into that medical system, it's time to say no and do something different. However, for those of you in longevity, if you want to achieve the same results that our 200-plus multi-million-dollar income earners are getting, do the same thing they're doing. Don't do anything different. And,
for goodness sake, it's right there in front of us every day when we step into the shower, right? I mean, it's right there in front of us. Just turn the shampoo bottle around and read it. Lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. Well, that's pretty easy to do. Everybody can do that, and everybody has, is pretty happy with how their hair looks when they come out of the shower every morning because it's nice and clean, because when you do the simple steps every day over and over, you get results. And the most startling thing to me, and again, I like to keep it real here. I really do like to be pragmatic and reality-based, here, as much as is humanly possible inside of the domain of radio, exciting radio, right? But I've been with every longevity group around the country for the last 4 years. I've lectured for every group. I've lectured all around the United States. I've lectured outside of the country for longevity. I've lectured everywhere conceivable to all of these different longevity groups, some of which are struggling and some of which are succeeding. And the only difference between the ones that are struggling and the ones that are succeeding is exactly what you said. The ones that are struggling are trying to make their own thing up. They're trying to do it their way, and they've come off of the rails of the simple system. And this is so counterintuitive, because the simpler you keep it, the better it is, the better results you get. This is like Zen in the art of networking. It's the less you say, the better results you get. The goal here, ladies and gentlemen, is not to become interesting, not to learn all of these medical facts and equations and statistics and Dr. Wallach's autobiography and all of this stuff about the evolution of the medical machine and the monopoly of the pharmaceutical industry in the United States. It's not to know all that, verbatim so you can spew it out to everybody that you come across. It's to keep it so simple. It's not to become interesting. It's to become interested. You got to be interested in the health and the well-being of people in your community. Now listen, if you really are genuinely interested in the other person, if you're interested in the other person's health, if you're interested in the other person's wealth, then the less you say, the better off it's going to be. And here's the pitch. Gee, you know what? I'm sorry to see you walking around on a cane like that, but look, man, I know a doctor who says you don't have to suffer with that. If I lend you this CD, will you listen to it? If I invite you to this webinar, will you watch it? If I send you a link to this video, will you watch it? If I bring you to this phone call, will you listen to it? If I give you this magazine, will you read it? It's that simple. That's all that we need to do every day, every day, every day, like an assembly machine. And if you can wrap your head around that, ladies and gentlemen, you will not, I can guarantee you will not recognize your bank account 12 months from now. Are we still breaking records, Mike, every month? What's going on with sales?
Well, we quit counting the records that we've been smashing. Growth continues, growth continues, growth continues. And, you and I talked about this a few weeks ago. We have this impending doom of this overmanaged healthcare plan that's coming. I think that we're starting to, the system is starting to crack under its own weight. I think the utopian ideas are starting to expose themselves for what they really are. As your one title of one of your CDs is, who or the MD God or the MD King has no clothes. I think we're starting to realize that this system has no clothes either. And as soon as enough eyes are open, as soon as enough people realize that not only has there got to be a better way, that there is a better way, they're going to say, no, we're not going to participate in that. the floodgates are going to open. And for those that are in position, for those that have paddled in front of the wave, for those that have focused on the right things and said no to the wrong things, those are the ones that are going to ride this wave into shore. And, millions upon millions of people are going to start awakening to the fact that they actually no longer can afford to participate in that system, not only the medical system, but in the financial system, in the job system, in the ways that we've been taught to do things that are to someone else's benefit. I have never been more excited about the position that we are in as a company, the position we're in as individuals, the position that our leaders are in, because there are only a few golden moments when billionaires are created. And this isn't all about money, but if we can create some billionaires, that means we've helped a lot of people. And I look forward to that wave crashing ashore and people awakening to the fact, you're going to hear this popping noise of all the heads coming out of the sand and starting to realize that there is a better way, and that way is longevity.
Well, well said. One of my favorite movies, Forrest Gump, one of my favorite scenes in Forrest Gump is when Forrest opens the envelope from the stock that he bought in Apple computers, right, Macintosh back there. He opens the stock. Oh, is this any good? And he had like a 5,000 shares that was worth $1 gazillion 10 years down the road. That's where we're at now, ladies and gentlemen. Catch the wave now. Wouldn't you love to have owned stock in Apple when it started? Wouldn't you love to have been Steve Jobs' next-door neighbor? Get in while the getting's good. I can hear the wave, ladies and gentlemen. Can you? I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Tuesday, July 2nd, 2013. We'll be taking your calls. We've got callers from Nevada, London, California, Michigan, and California again. We'll be taking those at 6 minutes after the hour in the second segment. I don't know, man, Mike. I can hear that wave. I can hear that wave building. I mean, in the still hours of the morning and then again right before sunset, I just put my ear to the ground and I can hear it. I mean, just go to the mall, go to Home Depot, go to the supermarket, just go into the middle of town, park your car at, Dunkin' Donuts or at wherever you are and look around. Everybody's overweight. Everybody's sick and suffering. Everybody's hobbling around. Everybody's got a kid that's autistic. Everybody has a kid that has Down syndrome. Everybody's infertile. Everybody's taking prescription medicines up the wazoo. And we're all going over the cliff to hell in a handbasket faster than you can say Jack Robinson. And I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to think about people's bank accounts. I mean, for goodness sake, it breaks my heart. Every time I go into a Walmart, which, by the way, is extremely infrequently, or even the big supermarkets, now they've got people in their 70s greeting you. Oh, isn't that a pleasant sight? There's Grandma. She has to make an extra $5 a week just to put Wonder Bread on the table. Doesn't that warm the cockles of your heart in the great United States of America? Well, guess what, folks? If you're sick of it, let's say that's your grandmother. Well, I tell you what, become a longevity member and create a position for your grandmother underneath you and help her build her wealth automatically while you're building yours. You want to see how that works? Go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the longevity button, join Team Glidden, and someone from my network we'll call you up and we'll show you what we're talking about. We'll hold your hand and we'll show you the simple system to help you recover your health and recover your wealth. It's going to be big, Mike. I mean, I'm very excited about it. I really am. This is the beginning. Right, it's a 17-year overnight sensation, right, that's finally reaching fruition. All the stars are aligning here to make longevity pop. I am very, very, very excited about the future.
I'm excited as well because, Doc, we're brainwashed as a society. We're brainwashed at so many levels, but like you said, if you get somewhere quiet, if you just get the noise away from you and you listen to yourself and you listen to your own body, you will hear the cries saying, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. It's time to say no. It's time to put our energies in different directions. It's time to stop building other people's dreams. It's time to stop, falling for that same old line over and over. It's time to stop chasing that carrot. It's time to stop punching the clock. It's time to take our lives back. It's time to take our health back. It's time to take our wealth back. Did you know that even folks with a JOB, Doc, on average will make more than $1 million over their lifetime? But by the time they get to retirement age, if they've managed to amass anything, they're going to be spending, if they plug into that system, they're going to be spending that money on prescription medications. They're going to be spending that money on long-term care facilities. They're going to be spending that money on doctor bills. And I think that, people are sick and tired of the $50 Q-tip. They're sick and tired of $100 aspirin tablets. They are sick and tired of being sick and tired and broke. And that's what makes longevity so special, because we address both of those challenges at the same time. One is almost coincidental to the other, but what a beautiful system. You're used to being, decades ahead of yourself. Dr. Wallach is used to being decades ahead of himself. The rest of the crowd is about to catch up. The rest of America is about to realize that we've been sold a bill of goods. The rest of the world is about to realize that we've been sold a bill of goods. And here we are. We're the only ones paddled out in front of the wave. We're the only ones that recognize the wave is coming. Everybody else has their rose-colored glasses on, their heads buried in the sand, and, the time is near. And I don't know if it's going to take 6 months or another 6 years. Who cares, as long as we're moving in the right direction.
Well, I think Jackson Browne was right. The 60s were just a fitful dream of some greater awakening. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, longevity. Today, tomorrow, and the future. Mike Randolph, you're the greatest. Thanks for showing up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, taking your calls when we come back. Don't even think about touching that dial.